Hey, and welcome back to Bain's Bites. I'm Bain. Here in Texas, a staple for breakfast are breakfast burritos or breakfast tacos. I love them. Grew up with a great place in my hometown that made them right. So today, as promised, we did get the Blackstone seasoning video. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. But we've been cooking on it ever since I got it. We absolutely love it. So we're going to show you guys how I make breakfast burritos, smother them with some chili con queso, and make something awesome for breakfast. First thing we're going to need to do is get some bacon. Get it on the blacktop. I've got the blacktop preheating at low. I rub some oil in it every time I cook on it. Before I start with anything, I put a fresh light layer of oil on it. Get that rubbed in, and we'll start cooking our bacon down. So this is just some thick cut bacon. We're going to lay it on here. We'll cook it all up. Chop it up later and set it aside. So as that bacon's cooking down, I'm just going to kind of keep it moving, flip it over here in a little bit. If it starts to curl, you can set a press on it or a spatula. It's alright. We want to cook it low and slow, render out the fat, get it good and crispy. While we're waiting, I'm going to put a pot right here on the Blackstone. Let that start warming up, and that's what we're going to do our queso in. So for our queso today, we're just going to warm up some milk. Maybe half a cup. We're going to get some cream cheese and put a couple scoops of that in there too. And for now, we just want to warm this up. We'll let those warm up and melt, come together. We'll get back to that later. Brisket. Hey there. Yeah, I like breakfast burritos. Smother you in cheese? Yeah, I'll just want the bacon. Bacon's coming along. You can see it's starting to get crispy and render down. So we'll just keep flipping it and checking it. I'm going to move it all over to one side of the grill so I can get the next step down and start cooking. We're going to get just a little bit of this grease cleared out. Alright, I've just got some frozen hash browns. We're going to open these up, and what I'll do is grab just a little bit of this bacon grease and move it over. Spread it out. We'll put some hash browns down right on top of that. Get a nice thin layer. And what I've found with hash browns is they crisp up and get a good browning if you kind of put some weight on them. Not press, but just put some weight on them and let them sit there. And I'll move that around as they cook on one side. But once you get them down, don't touch them. Check on our bacon. It's looking like it's right about where I want it. So we'll get this bacon pulled off. Just set it on a paper plate with some paper towels on there and let it collect some of that grease. That looks good. Cover it up, set it aside for right now. We'll take our milk and cream cheese, get that back on the grill, get it warmed up and melted. The other thing we're going to do is I took half a sweet onion and a jalapeno, diced them up real small. We're going to get those cooking up here on the flat top as well. Now I always have my go-to seasoning. I'm going to mount here on the Blackstone, and I mix it up together. It's just salt, pepper, and garlic powder. But we'll sprinkle some on there and season up the veggies as they cook. Give them a little toss. Work them around, let them cook. Some of that bacon grease still collected on the sides, so if you ever need a little bit, you can just scrape a little bit in. We'll let these cook up. Check on our hash browns. They're cooking up. Move the press over a little bit. Alright, I can see our milk and cream cheese is starting to come together, so we'll focus on it for just a minute. I've got some Colby and Monterey Jack shredded cheese, and I'm just going to add a little bit at a time and let it melt in there. Give that a stir. And we'll just work this as the cheese melts in. It'll start to thicken up. Once these veggies cook down a little bit more, we'll add some of those in here. And this will be great on top of the burritos. If it gets too hot, just take it off. Let it cool a little bit. Alright, that melted in pretty good, so we'll add some more. Let that melt in. You can see it's already thickening up. If it gets too thick, just add some more milk, thin it back out. Keep a stir on it. We're getting there. Put it back here in the corner to let it stay warm for right now. Veggies are looking good. Let's check on our hash browns. They look like they might be ready to flip. Alright, so let's grab the big boy. Get under there. Perfect. Get as much as you can on the one flip. Get the rest flipped over. And then we'll get our press put back on it. Alright, veggies are looking good, potatoes are looking good, queso's getting there. So we'll slide these over. So I just grabbed 4 or 5 pieces of bacon we cooked up. We're just going to give that a quick chop. So our bacon's ready, our queso's cooking, our potatoes are cooking. What else do you need for breakfast burrito? With some fresh eggs. How I'm going to season them today, since we're kind of going with the Tex-Mex burritos, I'm going to add just a little bit of chili powder for some color and smoky. Same thing with some paprika. Get them a good seasoned egg color and flavor. Alright, let's check back in here on the grill. See what's going on the Blackstone. These are looking pretty good to me. Queso's good and bubbly. Give that a stir. Set this down here on the side. Finished the queso. I've got a little bit of mild cheddar. We'll sprinkle a little bit of that in. Stir it in real good. Let that melt. Put it back in the grill. Keep some heat in it. Perfect. The last thing we're going to add is our veggies right into our queso. Grab our spoon, stir those in. That looks like a good topping for me. I'm going to cut this right burner off. It'll stay hot. Set this queso back here and let it stay warm. Keep an eye on it so it doesn't get too hot. We got some jumbo tortilla burrito size shells, so I'm going to grab 2 of these and get them warmed up. Just throw them on the flat top for a second. Let them cook on the Blackstone, warm up. I don't want to fry them, I just want to get them warm so they're kind of malleable. We'll pull these off, set them over here for just a second. It's time for the star of the show. We've got our eggs. I'm going to grab our bacon, throw that in with the eggs. These cook up in no time flat. Just keep tossing and stirring them. And that's about it. They look good to me. Cut them in half. We'll get them up on our spatula. Bring them over here. Lay them down on our tortilla. Grab the other one and do the same thing. Our hash browns are good and crispy. So we'll put these together in a pile. Same thing. Come over here on top of the eggs. Alright. Move down one side. Tuck in one edge. Tuck in the other edge. And give it a roll. Alright. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to give these a toast right on the Blackstone. So we'll put a little bit of avocado oil down, even it across, put them right on there to toast up. Alright, these are looking good. Let's flip them over and see. Perfect. Good and toasty. If they start to open on you, you can just keep some weight on them. Kill the heat. Let these toast for just a second. If that's not a smothered breakfast burrito, I don't know what is. That looks great. Alright, we've got it on the plate. It's piping hot. We're going to give it just a minute to cool off and we'll give it a try. We made a little bit of a mess, but we came out with something great. Set my coffee down. I can't wait anymore. We got to give this a try. Give me a good bite right here, cut off. Alright. Get some of that cheese, some of the filling. Tell you what, that's a killer breakfast burrito. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, hit the like button. And as always, thank y'all. Have a great day. I gotta get back to this. I gotta sit down to eat this.